Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Tonight we're checking out a 2022 BMW 230i Coupe at night. So this video focuses on the interior and exterior lighting of the vehicle. Check my channel for the full overview. It's a separate video. When you have the key with you, as you walk up to the vehicle, I have it set to where it actually unlocks the doors. So you can see that handle illuminates right there. And then the side mirror extends out, and then the exterior lights automatically turn on, the parking lights, and the interior lights are also on. So just sensing the key, it does all that. When I turn the headlight switch to the complete off position, you still have exterior lights on. You have bright LEDs here in the front, accent daytime running lights. You also have tail lights on as well. So when I turn on the parking lights, basically it's the same very bright LED, daytime running lights, accent lights, whatever you want to call it, is here. And let me turn the brightness down so you can see what it looks like. Really nice and sharp line right there, kind of underlining the and going to the sides of the actual headlight, which is not on yet. Now there's also an amber LED side marker now on, which was not on when I had the switch to the off position. Now it's on with the parking lights. Now the tail lights, there is a red side marker there here on the side, and it's actually all red back here. So the camera kind of makes it look different, but it's actually red. The tag lights are on as well. But let me lower the brightness, and maybe you can see how deep the red is. It's a nice, soft, but still bright LED taillight system. The turn signal basically just takes that white light and turns it amber here on the front. So it's very bright. It's actually a little bit brighter than the white portion, I think. And it's amber in color here on the front. You can see it very good, very visible. Now there's a turn signal indicator in amber here on the side mirror. And it's not very visible during the day. You can definitely see it at night, but it's not very bright. You can see it from the front, the side, and the back. But that's really mostly for night use. And then the tail light here, it has a red flashing light. So it is, once again, looking a little bit orange on camera, but it's actually a nice deep red, just like the rest of the tail light. It's just in this different position here. And it's pretty bright back here. Seems like the front light is brighter, but this one's still bright. So those daytime running lights do cast some light on the ground. So you could potentially, if it's not that dark, think you have the headlights on. But let's go ahead and turn the headlights on so you can see. They are an active bending headlight system. So as I drive and turn the steering wheel, it's not gonna do it when I'm parked, but as I'm driving, the actual headlights move back and forth. And it's out of a focused beam here. So you can see it's a focused projector beam. And so that's what it's actually moving, that gets the light down the road. Now it's a bifunction. So this one lens is for your low and your high beams. And it has a clear cutoff. So as I dip down, you can see as it's at a certain point, there we go. So the light actually shines on the camera right here, probably about 2.5 feet off the ground. So above that, it's not very bright. So you're not blinding other cars, basically, with you when you have the low beams, but you still have a lot of light that shines here on the ground below. All right, so there's the low beams, and there's the high beams, quite a bit higher. So when we put the high beams on, once again, we still have just the one actual light that's shining, and that is this projector. So no actual difference as far as additional lights being turned on. It just now reuses that in a different way. So as I dip down, the light, if I go a little bit further out, is really when it's gonna take effect. And so now it's quite a bit higher off the ground. It's brighter and higher, especially here on the sides. You can see even up here 6 feet off the ground, here on the side, it's shining on the camera. Kind of has this little gold accent in there as well in the housing, which is pretty neat. The left of this projector, right in here, is a cornering light. So I have the wheel at a sharp angle, so that cornering light will basically shine a light just right over there. So like right in this area here. So on real sharp angles, that the light, the projector light that's actually moving can't aim in that direction. So it has that little cornering light to kind of make up for it. So the trunk light is an LED, and it's fairly bright here. And it's right here in the very center, in the trunk. So it does a decent job of illuminating the center area and not cast too many shadows on things when you have things in, like I have a bunch of junk in here. And you can pretty much see in here pretty good. But as I lift this up, you can see it casts a shadow, but it's not too bad. Of course, all trunk areas can be improved, especially when you only have one light. But I think it's okay. So before I open the door, kind of peeking in the window here, so you can kind of see like a soft accent light there in the back seat, as well as the controls back there, are backlit for the climate control and the USB ports. I don't know if you can see that, but it's looking really nice through the window. That's why I kind of wanted to peek in there. So the inside of the door here, it does have a nice bright puddle light that shines on the ground and illuminates that area. There's also this pulsing light right here. So you can see that red pulsing light, letting you know that the door's open. And you'll notice on the other side, it has right there, it's not pulsing. It just has the ambient light color that you choose, letting you know the door's shut. So right now I have kind of like a purple color, so you can see it in these compartments here. But you can see that's what that pulsing light is anyway. That'll change when we shut the door. Then you have backlit buttons, kind of like orange backlit buttons there, kind of retro looking. Illumination there on the floorboard. And the way the camera is set up, starting to make the light look like it's flashing. It's not actually flashing, but anyways. All right, so now let's go ahead and look in the back seat, because there actually is some decent lights here in the back seat. You can see all in here in the center. The light is coming from there in the middle, so there's two lights, and it's more illuminating there in the lap of each passenger. With the light interior helps out a lot. So it does have some lights there, and there's those backlit controls and charge ports there. The lights here in the front are coming from these two basically dome lights. They're in the center, and does a decent job of illuminating this area, especially considering you have floorboard illumination and stuff. Okay, so I have the door open so you can see what it looks like here with the interior lights on. You can see that flashing red light still going. So let's go ahead and shut this door. You see that flashing red light goes away, and you have the light here. And it's kind of like a purple color, and that's what I have selected on the screen. We'll change that in a minute. You can see the floorboard is also purple now. Kind of changes the way it looks. So the steering wheel, it has backlit buttons here. And it's kind of like, it has that kind of retro orange, in my opinion. Kind of looks nice. A nice retro looking color. There's the gauges there. Get different information, so it's very visible, and even the vents have these little illumination here on the wheels. Let me open the door so you can see what I'm talking about. So right here, these little vents right here for the climate control, the little wheels to turn it on or off are illuminated, which is pretty cool. That's a nice little touch there. Headlight controls are illuminated here. All right, so there's the touch screen. Let's go ahead and put it in reverse so you can see the camera system. See pretty good behind the vehicle. These are all backlit. Then you have purple lights right in here for the charger, and then the cup holders are actually not illuminated. They have a little bit of spillover light from that area. This is nicely illuminated from up here. So there's actually these lights up here that there's backlit lights buttons up here as well, and the interior lights can turn on or off as well, which is, I'm glad they're lit. But that's jumping ahead, because this light right here that's coming down illuminates this area nicely. So it just gives it a nice soft light, and since it's colored, it just makes it a little bit nicer because it has a nice color that's customizable with all the rest of the lights. So the center console lifts up and you have a really nice bright light in here. So you can see in the compartment, which is essential, and there's also a backlit USB port there. Glove compartment is also lit with a nice bright LED light. Alright, so back up here, the sunroof controls are lit. These are really nice. Roadside assistance button and the interior reading lights, you can turn those on here, and then all the lights with the center part, it's really bright. And then the visors have mirrors and lights, and they basically turn on when you open up the mirror and turn off when you close it. Okay, so under the settings, vehicle settings, and vehicle lighting, we can go in and adjust. We can actually turn off the ambient light if we want, or turn it back on. You can completely just do away with it. You can adjust the brightness here and then the color. So there's bronze. So let's kind of cycle through. I'll aim it right here on the door. See it. So there's bronze, there's orange, and this is in the floorboard and everything. So, and all this area is completely changed the color. That bronze looks good with the existing backlit buttons. Kind of extends it, it matches it nicely. Or that's the orange, sorry. There's the white. So now we just have white lights in the floorboard and everywhere. The next one is blue. That looks nice. Green. That kind of stands out. Lilac, which is like the purple that I originally had. And that's it. So there's the colors: bronze, orange, white, blue, green, and lilac. Yeah, I think I like that. I do like the orange because it matches the buttons. But just having that contrast of either the purple or blue or something like that kind of makes it look neat. Again, we have that ambient light shining. Remember we peeked in the window and we saw it? It shines back here, just a little bit there in the center as well. And since we have it purple, that's what the color is. The heads-up display, once you adjust the brightness properly, looks really nice. It's a very clear, easy to see, not blurry, like the camera kind of makes it look a little bit blurry, but it's nice and sharp to my eyes. Can see it nicely. And it's if you don't have it too bright, then it doesn't really get in the way. If it's too bright, then at nighttime it's a little bit distracting, but as you can probably see, it's not too bad. Sitting still, the headlights don't move when I turn the steering wheel, but as I go forward, I have to kind of be going forward a little bit faster, maybe 10 miles an hour or so, and they'll eventually start moving. I don't know why they don't do it when I'm sitting still or going a slow speed, but they have, you know, basically, I guess a certain amount of speed that it has to go before it activates that system. So there's the low beams on the fence. There's the high beams, there's the low beams, and hopefully you can see that cutoff. Okay, so now they decided to work, so you can actually see them moving left and right a little bit. Alright, so I have the automatic high beams on, and we'll see how well they work. And the high beams kind of fade in, which is pretty neat. They're on right now. And you can see the headlights are a little patchy on the road at certain points. Right now they look fine. Alright, so just dim the low beams. Now the cutoff seems a little high there on the sides, but it doesn't seem to be blinding the oncoming traffic. Otherwise they'll be flashing me or something. But on the sides it looks pretty high, that cutoff, even on low beams. Okay, so there's a dark road and the high beams are on, and that movement of the headlights is still active even on high beams at high speed. And it seems a little gimmicky. I don't understand, like, if the lights didn't move, then I would have the same visibility. So I'm not sure what the point of having those lights move, you know, high up, move so much. So I'm moving the steering wheel, you can see them. Hopefully you can see them on the trees just kind of moving back and forth. But as far as the actual headlights, you know, it's pretty good. I mean, considering the height of the vehicle and the distance the headlights are able to project, and it's pretty evenly lit at this angle. You know, when I was looking down, like going down a hill and the headlights were shining on the ground, you can see a little bit patchiness, but I think that's just where the high beam portions light was projecting kind of separately or something from that same projector somehow. But as far as just general visibility, is fine. I mean, it's not bad at all. It's actually pretty good. I would say it's pretty good. I'm just not a fan of that, like that light moving around. I don't know what the benefit of that is, so it just doesn't seem that useful or that beneficial. Maybe, you know, maybe there's some kind of benefit to having the light, you know, moving around like that. But yeah, I think these are good headlights. Let me know what you think in the comments about these headlights, and specifically the movement of the headlights. I see that in a lot of vehicles, and it's like I haven't seen a single one that was like it actually made a difference. It just kind of moves around in front of you and you get the same visibility. But yeah, I think these are good headlights. They're bright enough, they're evenly distributed enough, they're able to go on the sides of the roads decently. You know, they project down the road nicely. The automatic high beams seem to be working fine, not blinding anybody as of yet. Nobody's flashing me, and I'm able to see it good. So, you know, seems pretty good to me.